If you've ever said, "I'll fix it in editing," let me tell you something. You've just committed the biggest self-deception in amateur podcasting. It's like thinking you can save a burnt cake with a little frosting. It doesn't work. The reality is that noise reduction software is useful, but only to a certain extent. If your raw audio sounds like a 1940s radio transmission, not even the best sound editor on the planet can turn it into a professional production. No matter how many filters you apply, if you recorded with a hellish background noise, it will still sound like you're broadcasting from the bottom of a factory during rush hour. But here's the encouraging fact. Every podcaster has been there. Even the biggest names in podcasting started with episodes that would embarrass them today. The difference is that they learned, adapted, and most importantly, invested in decent equipment. And the good news is that you can do it too. You don't need to spend a fortune, but you do need some basic tools to make your podcast sound more like a professional production and less like a bad connection video call. If you really want your podcast to sound good without seeming like a live stream from a wind tunnel, there are 4 essential things you need. 1, a decent microphone, and no, your Bluetooth headphones mic doesn't count. 2, a quiet recording space, or at least as soundproof as possible. 3, a script or a clear structure, because improvising seems easy until you start rambling aimlessly. 4, the patience to redo takes when your neighbor decides to mow the lawn just as you get to the best part of your story. And while we're on the subject, if you're enjoying this breakdown of the worst disasters in podcasting, don't forget to like and subscribe. Trust me, your future, less embarrassing episodes will thank you. One of the most common and least talked about mistakes in podcasting is how fast you speak. You don't want to sound like a hyperactive auctioneer, but you also don't want to come off as a guided meditation putting your audience to sleep. The key is pacing. Pause when necessary, emphasize important parts, and please control your volume. There's nothing worse than a podcast where in one sentence you're yelling into the mic, and in the next, listeners have to turn the volume all the way up just to hear you whispering from the bottom of a cave. Let's talk about a classic problem. When you record with a friend or a co-host who, for some reason, thinks that sharing a microphone is a great idea. 2 people using one mic isn't just uncomfortable, it guarantees awkward silences, unbalanced volumes, and the occasional accidental ASMR moment when someone leans in too close. If you want decent audio quality, each person needs their own mic. This is non-negotiable unless you want your episode to sound like a speakerphone call from a basement with bad reception. But this is just the beginning. This doesn't end here. Stay tuned for more.